Armada Kickoff is brought to you by Winn-Dixie, Community First Credit Union, Key Auto, Coca-Cola, Brumos Automotive, Bowden Eye & Associates, Coors Light, Coastal Spine and Pain.
We welcome you into the first ever installment of Armada Kickoff. I'm Cole Pepper, she's Krissty Andaur, and today we'll be giving you a crash course into the Jacksonville Armada, Jacksonville's newest professional sports franchise and the newest member of the North American Soccer League.
We'll also have an interview with the Armada owner, Mark Frisch, General Manager Dario Sala, and we're going to show you where you might want to sit when you come to Community First Park at the baseball grounds of Jacksonville. But
first, let's give you a look at the history of the Armada. It has been a very exciting last year plus for Jacksonville's newest professional sports franchise. Let's start with July 25th, 2013. The NASL awards Mark Frisch an expansion team. There's a photo of him getting the word from NASL Commissioner Bill Peterson.
The team was then known as Jax NASL until the logo and the brand was rolled out this past February.
June 11th, 2014. The Armada finds their coach. Jose Luis Villarreal is introduced to the public.
October 20th, 2014, the club signed its first player, goalkeeper Miguel Gallardo.
So the team had an identity, a coaching staff, and the start of a roster, but still didn't have a uniform. A week and a half later, the kit was revealed.
Introducing the Jacksonville Armada FC inaugural season kit, created by Nike.
Well, 2014, as you can see, was a very eventful year for the Jacksonville Armada. 2015 promises to be even more eventful with the season starting up for the inaugural year. We get a lot of questions about the club, and we've boiled it down to 4 frequently asked questions. These are kind of the essentials you need to know about the Jacksonville Armada.
Absolutely. I think one of the main questions that people always ask is, when is the season starting? And I truly think that there's 2 answers to that question. Preseason starts February 7th, Philadelphia Union. Regular season starts in April.
April 4th will be the opener for the Armada in the North American Soccer League. One of the other big questions you get is, where are they going to play? Well, as we mentioned, Community First Park at the baseball grounds of Jacksonville will be where they will play. Of course, they'll be alternating with the Suns in terms of weekends. A lot of the games will be Saturday night. Most of them, in fact, will be. And so it will be right downtown in the sports complex, perfect place to launch the Armada's inaugural year.
And I think after that, people always question, well, how are you playing at a baseball field?
That's right.
And I think, there's a lot of logistics that go into it, but, we're going to be interchanging the clay. There's going to be field and a goal, and that's all that people really need to worry about.
They'll be moving the mound out of there, actually. It's a pretty amazing process, and we'll show that to you as we get closer. And the 4th frequently asked question, what league is the Armada playing in? Well, it's the North American Soccer League, and a lot of good information to get you about the NASL, Krissty.
As we mentioned, the Armada will play in the North American Soccer League. You may recall that the NASL was the first professional soccer league in the U.S., and in its first go-around, players like Pele played in the NASL. Some of the brands still remain, like the New York Cosmos, Fort Lauderdale Strikers, and the Tampa Bay Rowdies. The league relaunched in 2011 and has since grown to 11 teams, including the Armada FC. Teams are in other major cities like Atlanta, Raleigh, Indianapolis, San Antonio, Minneapolis, and 2 teams in Canada, in Edmonton and Ottawa. The NASL is a professional league that aims to challenge the MLS for soccer supremacy in North America.
Now, here's what's different about the NASL compared to the MLS. The MLS is a single entity league, so when a player signs a deal with the MLS, he's then assigned to a team. They do this to try to ensure competitive balance. In the NASL, though, there's no salary cap, there's no player assignment. Teams can sign really whoever they want based on their own budget. And also, unlike the rest of the world, there is no promotion relegation in North American soccer. NASL Commissioner Bill Peterson says he'd love to see that at some point, but MLS Commissioner Don Garber recently said that he didn't see that happening anytime soon. As for the postseason, the NASL features 4 teams in the championship, the winners of the spring season and the fall season, and then the next 2 best records overall. And this past November, the San Antonio Scorpions outlasted the Fort Lauderdale Strikers 2-1 to win the Soccer Bowl as champions of the NASL. It was a clammy, damp night in San Antonio, but that didn't keep over 7,000 from showing up for this one. There were chances early like this run out. Sean Chin feeds. Ali Alberto Hassan for Fort Lauderdale, the former Central Florida Cray striker, puts it just wide in the 40th minute. Take another look. He just misses wide of the goal. Second half now. It's Chin again for Fort Lauderdale. Watch the work with the heel. Darnell King the recipient, but he elevates his shot from distance. We remain scoreless. 62nd minute now. Chin involved again. Long ranger saved by San Antonio keeper Josh Saunders, but a penalty called in the box. That's going to be a penalty kick, and the Scorpions do not like it. Martin Nunez to take the PK for Fort Lauderdale to break a scoreless tie. It hits the crossbar. Still scoreless. Fort Lauderdale missing a huge chance there. 70th minute now, and the scoreless deadlock is broken, and it happens with high style points. Rafael Castillo, the bicycle kick. Spectacular. San Antonio takes the 1-0 lead. Here's another look at it. That is pretty. Just 4 minutes later, Castillo would be involved again for San Antonio as the crowd and the team goes crazy in the Lone Star State. Castillo threads the needle on a ball to Billy Forbes, and the Turks and Caicos International does the rest. Forbes scores his 5th goal of the season, and the Scorpions are on the brink of a championship, leading 2-0. San Antonio fans celebrating, but hold everything. 79th minute. It will be Walter Ramirez who would give these guys a little something to think about. Ramirez was one of the NASL best 11 2 years ago with San Antonio. Now he cuts the lead in half against his old team. San Antonio's lead down to 2-1, but that would be as close as the Strikers would get. San Antonio pops the corks. The Scorpions are the 2014 NASL champions as they hoist the Soccer Bowl. All right, so that's a look at the NASL. That's the league that the Armada will be facing in 2015. But what about the matches? And as importantly, where will you sit? We sent Krissty to Community First Park to give you a behind-the-scenes look at what the game day experience will be like and how that may affect where you'll want to sit on match day.
The Armada FC's first match is just weeks away. With a little under 9,000 seats around Community First Park, let's take a look at what section might be right for you. If standing for 90 minutes really doesn't bother you, then maybe the general admission section is right for you, and you get a great view of the pitch. After experiencing a match with the U.S. men's national team, Jeff and Alexandra knew exactly where they wanted to sit.
We liked that seat so much that I was kind of looking at that whenever I was looking at which seat I wanted. The other thing, too, is that we're really close to the beer garden.
If you have a family or maybe you're just a die-hard soccer fan, perhaps these midfield seats would be perfect for you. Whether you have a group of 25, 50, or 100, this party deck is the perfect place for you. Some would even argue that these are the best seats in the house. Every club needs a devoted supporters section, and for the Armada FC, that's section 904. Co-founder Sebastian Cardona will be setting an energized and passionate crowd behind the East goal.
We're going to have, people, chanting the whole time, jumping up and down. It's going to be all the rowdy fans. It's going to be a younger fan base. It's for the people that just don't want to sit down in the stands and just watch a soccer, but kind of want to take part of, a little more closer to the team.
If you're interested in finding out more information about Section 904, like them on Facebook at facebook.com/Section 904 or follow them on Twitter at Section 904. Season tickets start at just $10 per match, and these matches do come in 20-game or 16-game packages. There's perks for season ticket owners, like meeting the players and exclusive Armada FC events, including interest-free low monthly payment plans. For tickets, please call 1-844-2-ARMADA, or even for any questions, please visit armadafc.com.
Coming up on Armada Kickoff, we will talk with the man who has brought professional soccer back to Jacksonville. Team owner Mark Frisch will join us. Also, we'll get up close and personal with one of the newest members of the Armada roster, defender Matt Bahner. That's straight ahead right here on Armada Kickoff. It's been a busy 2014 already for the Armada. The 2015 calendar year promises to be even busier. Let's take a look at some of the important dates you need to know about when it comes to the Armada. For starters, it's the very first preseason match, February 7th, at Everbank Field against the Philadelphia Union. And by the way, tickets go on sale on January the 12th to the public, starting at $14. Season ticket owners can buy tickets ahead of time.
Right. Next, February 28th, first match at Community First Park versus the Fort Lauderdale Strikers.
That'll be the home park for the Armada, the baseball grounds, Community First Park. And the regular season opener, this is another match that will be played at Everbank Field, and that is April the 4th against FC Edmonton. The Eddies from Canada come to town.
Coming to the warmth, that is.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the roster and how it is set up so far for the Armada. Dario Sala, the general manager, has been adding players in and really focusing on the back end, the defensive side of the ball. As we take a look at what has been developed so far, first player signed was goalkeeper Miguel Gallardo, guy who was a former star in Orlando with the USL Pro team there. Then on the defensive side, Matt Bahner, who we'll hear from in just a moment, Fabricio Ortiz, and Sean Nicola, very well-traveled group there. Midfield, Lucas Rodriguez is a guy who comes from Argentina, lived in the United States from the time he was 14 years of age, and Jaime Castrillon, a guy who can score some goals with the MLS Colorado Rapids. He actually led them in goal scoring from the midfield position in 2011. And the most recent signee is Jamal Johnson. He has Premier League experience in England. An amazing story. Born in New Jersey, grew up in Manchester, and wound up playing for Blackburn Rovers of the English Premier League. So that's a look at the players so far. We mentioned Matt Bahner. Krissty, he's an interesting guy for sure, and a guy who's going to be counted on to perform on that back line.
Oh, absolutely. And we actually got the chance to sit down and get to know some of his favorites off the pitch.
The last book I read was actually on the plane flight down here. It was Beckham's autobiography. The toughest challenge I've ever faced was when I tore my ACL and MCL in college and having to recover from that. My worst habit would probably be biting my fingernails. If I could trade places with someone for a day, it would be Justin Timberlake.
Oreos or Chips Ahoy?
Oreos.
Snickers or Kit Kat?
Oh, that one's tough. Definitely have to be both.
All right, that's one of the newest signees of the Jacksonville Armada, Matt Bahner. Now let's talk to the guy who has brought professional soccer back to Jacksonville, team owner Mark Frisch. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you,
and how excited are you right now with just a couple of months to go before the start of the season?
Yeah, I've been counting down the days. We're getting close to our first preseason match coming up February 7th against Philadelphia. So, you know, it's getting exciting, and we're all ready to play soccer here.
How did this whole thing start? How did you become an owner of a soccer team?
Well, I fell in love with the game a couple years ago when the U.S. men's national team played Scotland at Everbank Field. And really, from that point on, went to look out and see the soccer landscape, the pro soccer landscape in the country, and fell in love with NASL. The commissioner lives in Ponte Vedra Beach. Made it a lot more convenient for me to have conversations with him, and we're able to get it done. You know,
as you mentioned, having the commissioner right here certainly helps, but I know you've also been leaning on a lot of people. You've got a lot of experience on the marketing side, dealing with, with CBEST, with other businesses and different sports. How much of that experience did you utilize in terms of looking at, all right, what does it take to really make a great game day experience or make a great experience for fans?
Well, I don't know much about that, but the good thing is we have a lot of great people on our team who do. And I've been around sports a long time, a lot of it with Beaver Street and CBEST and doing a lot of brand activation. But I tell you, the organization that we put together in the front office is first class with some great experience, and they're going to be able to get it done, no question.
Well, this has certainly been a very impressive way in terms of the way the club has been built up. But one of the things that really strikes me is that you keep talking about this not just as a soccer club, but as a third-generation Jacksonville guy. You talk about this as being a community asset.
Yeah, definitely. And when I originally wanted to bring pro soccer to Jacksonville, it was for that reason. I wanted Jacksonville to have a pro soccer team. I thought it was something that we could look back on in 20 years and say, gosh, we missed the boat. And I wanted to do anything I could do to help bring the game here. And so thankfully we were able to land a franchise in the North American Soccer League, and hopefully it's one that will be here for many years to come.
When that first match starts, what are your emotions going to be like?
Well, it's going to be an overwhelming moment. I've been, looking forward to that team running onto the field, seeing the jerseys out there, and playing against our friends from Philadelphia. It's going to be special. So it's going to be amazing.
Mark, thanks a lot. Congratulations, and we're looking forward to it.
Thanks, Paul.
All right, that's Mark Frisch, the owner of the Armada. When we come back, the guy who's putting together the roster will join us, Dario Sala, the general manager, right here on Armada Kickoff. All kinds of great ways to stay in touch with the Armada via social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Some terrific videos to see on YouTube. And if you're on Vine or Pinterest, also connect with the Jacksonville Armada there. The guy who is really building this roster from the ground up is the general manager, Dario Sala. Why and how is he getting this done for the Armada? Krissty Andaur sat down with the GM.
Dario, you played internationally. You played for the MLS. How did you become a GM of the Armada?
Well, it's been a dream come true since I retired from soccer. I worked as a sport agent in 2012, 11, and 10. And then I came to Jacksonville. I met with Frisch. He expressed the initiative of bringing professional soccer to town, to Jacksonville. And then I present some ideas. He likes it. And we start to look for the league that we want to participate and be involved with. North American Soccer League provide all what we need. The last year and a half for me it's been a blast, a dream come true as an ex-professional player, becoming a general manager of the club. And but right now my role and responsibilities are specific for the soccer side, and I'm really happy with it.
And the next step would be building the team. How exactly are you doing that?
Well, I've been scouting for almost a year now, traveling a lot, looking the profile of the player who is going to represent Armada on and off the field. We want players who are involved with the community. We want players who become role models for the young players, for the young kids. And then well, from the base, goalkeepers, center backs, midfielders, and forward, I think we try to do the backbone of the team. This is what we've been signing.
What's your vision for what the team will look like out on the field?
I'm very a dreamer. I'm a dreamer, and I dream with the sold out the stadium. So go and buy your tickets. Sold out the stadium, pre-game, with a crazy atmosphere, different communities involved, expecting to have a win on the first game at home, and making people happy. That's my dream.
All right, thank you, Krissty. One of the other faces and voices you'll hear and see during our broadcast is Bob Veal, who joins us now. Bob, my partner on the Armada Soccer Show every Friday. Great to see you. For those who have not listened, and shame on them for not listening, let's introduce you to them a little bit. Tell me about your soccer background.
Background a long time ago. Back in the 60s, played semi-pro, enjoyed that, and from then on, really coached a lot. Coached in the UK, coached in Virginia, and 14 years here in Jacksonville.
Now, you've coached a lot of different levels of soccer, and of course we keep a close eye on what's happening in England, in your former home, and now here in Jacksonville, your current home. Let's talk about what you've seen out of the NASL and the Armada specifically. League-wide, can the Armada come right in and be competitive in year one, do you think?
It's a good standard in the NASL. I've enjoyed watching some games, and I think the Armada, if we get the mix right of players, and we don't know that yet until we see that inaugural game, preseason game, if we get the mix right, I think we can compete really well. And the system that the coach, Jose, wants to implement is very attacking system, and all fans like to watch an attacking team.
Yeah, they've talked a lot about how that system was going to be all about ball possession, a lot of passes, and really getting forward. Can you do that at this level? There are a lot of teams that, Barcelona has tried that general approach, and when you have Messi and Neymar and so forth, you can do that. Can you do that at this level?
Yes, you can. If you get two good running fullbacks that are willing to overlap, and the defense understands that they have to cut across and just fill in for those guys when they move. If we press their midfield, keep them in their third of the team, press and pass. Remember, they cannot score if we've got the ball. And I'm a great believer in possession soccer.
So is that the one thing early on in the season, the preseason, we should be looking for? How much possession time do the Armada have?
Yeah, I think so. I think the system will be possession soccer. You'll see it pass back a lot. You'll see it move forward to the midfield. And it will remain to see whether that is good for us in the NASL.
Well, we're looking forward to the season, looking forward to having you on the broadcast, and looking forward to Friday when you and I will be back on the radio next week.
Looking forward to that as well.
Told you just a little bit ago that you can connect with the Armada on social media. Also, make sure to check out the website, armadafc.com. Everything you need to know about the team, roster, background on the players and coaches, and also videos and social media. Stay connected with the team right there on armadafc.com. Well, as the Armada ramps up to the regular season, they have been putting a lot of time in on the pitch, but also putting a lot of time in the community. In October, the team threw a party downtown, taking over the old Marble Bank building and attracting over 2,000 fans. Armada players and coaches continue to circulate around town, including this autograph signing and fan meet and greet at a Winn-Dixie on County Road 210. When we come back, some closing thoughts. This is the inaugural edition of Armada Kickoff. A reminder that season tickets are on sale right now. Money should be no object, just $10 per game from the starting price. 20 game packs or 16 game packs. It'll get you a lot of activity there. And with either one of those two packs, you don't have to pay it all at once. An interest-free monthly payment plan is available. Great perks for season ticket owners. Chances to meet the players, coaches, and executives. Call 1-844-2-ARMADA or online at armadafc.com.
We also know everyone's excited for the season to start, but we will be back next month with the latest Armada FC information.
In the meantime, you can stay tuned and stay plugged in via armadafc.com. Also listen to Sports Radio 930 every Friday at 3 o'clock. Bob Veal and I have the Armada Soccer Show. Until then, for Bob Veal, for Krissty Andaur, Cole Pepper saying thanks so much. This is Armada Kickoff.